Hi guys, I wanted to make a big starting video for my channel, and it would have lots of explosions and drama and things that just captured me as a person, but then I realized that that would actually require me to know how to edit and to have friends. So instead today I decided that I would be doing something that was close to my heart so we can be all sentimental together on my first video. Plus, it's something I've never really seen anybody do before or talk about. And today I'm going to tell you the truth about adoption. I was adopted from infancy by my parents, obviously, and it's affected my whole life in good ways and bad ways. And don't get me wrong, adoption's a great alternative to abortion or caring for a child that you know you can't care for. So, I mean, I'm so glad that I was adopted, but at the same time, it's sort of a thing that I just don't know how it could have ended up if I wasn't. So, I thought I'd enlighten non-adopted people on how it is. Firstly, it kind of gives you a sense of loneliness in the world, because I mean, you always wonder why your parents gave you up. You never not wonder. You think about it and you're like, are you not good enough? Am I not strong enough? Did they not see something in me that was worth? And then you have to push aside that and you have to say to yourself, no, I am worth it. And I was so worth it that these random people who didn't even know me picked me from a lot of 1,000 babies and said, I want that one. I want that ugly one with a big forehead, because I was an ugly baby. And of course, I mean, there was more to that. They went through a ton of work to get me. So that almost seems like they put in extra effort to want me. So it's a great feeling to know that you're actually wanted. But it's something that I'm always reminded of. You know, in 7th grade, we did a genetics thing where we had to go home and assess our parents and tell them and relate it back to us, relate genes and things. But I couldn't do that because I was adopted, so I had to do a paper on genetics instead of being able to go home and look at my mom and say, wow, I got her eyes, I got his hair. And it was kind of a shot to the heart because I was the only adopted kid in my 7th grade class. Also, getting asked about things about my family heritage. I don't know anything about my heritage, really. I mean, I know my last name is Van Boxel from the adopted family, which is German, I think? I don't know. And I know my real birth mom's name is Melissa, but that's all I really know. So if there is a Melissa who happened to give up a Mackenzie Van Boxel 16 years ago, please feel free to contact me. I do have all hopes of meeting Melissa one day and just seeing her. I don't want her to be a big part of my life because she gave me up for a reason. But even if I don't even meet her, I just want to see what she looks like and I want to see her. And that's something that adoptive kids have to deal with too. They have to deal with the fact that they don't know where they came from. They just know that they have these parents now. It's like a little switcheroo. And so you just kind of have to look around and like, you never know. I could be walking down the street and pass some lady named Melissa and that be my mom. And it's kind of weird and mysterious and like Nancy Drew, Mackenzie and the search for her birth parents. But it's not really like that. Yeah, I mean, I get the piece of paper and it's like, this is your mom's name. I Google search her and boop, there she is. I'll go find her in Ohio or something. I really hope she doesn't live in Ohio. That's a really boring place. And I actually look like my adoptive parents and my adoptive sister. And that's why I guess it's so hard for everybody to believe. Because I mean, there's that one Asian kid in the white family and everybody's like, oh yeah, he's totally adopted. But I mean, I look like my adoptive parents. So sometimes I go into conspiracy theory mode and I'm like, Maybe I wasn't adopted and my family just wants me to believe that. It's something that has really changed me. My parents never had to sit me down and say, Mackenzie, you're adopted, and then like, dun dun dun, happen. That never happened. I always knew from birth. My parents always told me I was adopted. I never once thought that that I ever came out of my mom's vagina. It's hard being adopted because everybody kind of treats it like this thing that's so unnormal. I had people have people say stuff that they didn't understand what adoption was. When I was little, I was teased almost for it. People would tell me that my parents didn't want me and that I was a mistake. And I mean, obviously I was a mistake. Nobody just plans to get pregnant to give their baby up for adoption. But it was bad. But I mean, I was a witty kid, so I mean, one time this girl was like, haha, you were adopted, your parents didn't want you. And then I turned to her and I was like, well, at least my adopted parents chose me. I bet you were a mistake. And so, I mean, self high five for being sassy and not needing no birth parents. I mean, if you're an adopted kid and you're watching this right now and you're like, love your adopted parents. Love them with all they got. Because they love you. They took the time to find you and they chose you. And you're loved. You're an adopted kid and be proud of it. So if you're adopted or if you're not adopted, just respect it. Respect adoption and all the work that everybody goes through. Even the kid goes through work. And also respect a person who had to give their baby up for adoption. Because that lady had a bun in the oven for like 9 months and then she didn't even get to enjoy it. She had to let it go. So respect adopted kids, respect adoptive parents, and respect a person who had to put their kids up for adoption. Because adoption is hard. But it's best for the kid, and that's what you have to understand.
What you do today? Yeah. Hey, you still awake?
Ooh, plus side to being adopted. You can live your whole life literally thinking that your parents never have had sex. So while all you burdened kids have to think about the fact that your parents had to have sex to have you, I can live my life thinking, my parents never stuck it in. So, boom, in your face, you're mentally scarred. I'm not.